Welcome to the Trading Lounge and the indices. Starting with the Australian market, the ASX 200 CFD here. Look, I've got too many counts all over the place for this, but I just want to explore a couple of other possibilities. This is the XJO, the ASX 200 here, and this move across here is quite complicated. I had always thought, though, that because of this high here, this first leg down through here is actually corrective in 3 waves. So I've always sort of held the premise that whatever happens after here would also be corrective as well. It's just that it's got a little bit complicated. However, I still feel like it's a corrective move, and we'll move to the upside. I just don't have any evidence of that. I want to have a look at the top 20 stocks. I think it's the top 20, the XTL as they are here. And I want to also have a look at the small caps as well as an index as well. And just really focusing in on its patterns here. And once again, we see this particular pattern through here in a very clear 3 waves. And you know, it makes this whole move here a corrective move as such in 3 waves here. And in this case, it comes down lower through here. And in this case too, this wave here would actually be a wave C here coming through here, even though it's not clear. But in this particular case, it appears that we've got this A, B, and C here for wave 4, and then wave 5 coming down here. So it's a much better looking A, B, and C here, then up for 1, and then back for 2 here, looking for the you know, the normal sort of 50–60% sort of retracement level. So that's, you know, the top 20 stocks. They're kind of in good form here, really. So we're looking for some type of corrective move within this space here, but we don't really want to see this market come back below the 3,400 here. Otherwise, there would be you know, there would be sort of weakness at that point there. So we need to be a little bit mindful of that situation there. But so I'm sort of maintaining that bullish count. And when I have a look at the small caps, which is the XSO, we can see its correctional pattern is a little bit different again, but incorporating the pattern here, it just makes it a much more bullish pattern, because we've got a much clearer sort of impulse wave through to here as wave A, and then we've got the B wave here, which is really nice, and then we've got a very typical C wave here as such in 5 waves. Now, that pattern that I was looking at before in terms of coming down with the other ones here, we'll look at this as the A, the B, and the C here for wave 4, and then down for 5. So it's much clearer here in this particular pattern here, and I really like this sort of rounding pattern here as well. That tells me that there's strength in the market, and we're seeing this market sort of push up here, and we are seeing a lot of stocks, as I mentioned before, you know, pushing up off their sort of lows here. So, and we are seeing overnight, you know, even though the US markets were weaker and the European markets were weaker, we'd seen precious metals stronger, we had seen base metals stronger, well, copper as such. So we are seeing that sort of buoyancy there. So, yeah, look, just sort of wanted to point, you know, my sort of thoughts out on this. So as it stands, even though the markets are weak, we're still working this bullish pattern to the upside. It hasn't actually broken down. So that's kind of what I'm sort of getting around to such. So, you know, with the ASX 200 here, I guess if the 5,400 here was you know, breached, then we would have a particular weakness here as well. This move up here and on most indices as well overnight, even though it was lower, but this move up through here appears to be impulsive, so in 5 waves. So, you know, looking, this is it's on the 4-minute chart here, we could look at, and this would be the same for the other indices as well, so we just got to be a little bit mindful of this. We will see weakness as such, but at the same time, you know, we can look for the 50-60% sort of retracement level coming back into these little areas through here in terms of an A and a B and a C here, and then moving up from there. So it's just something to look at. Yes, you know, there will be open weak, the stocks will open weaker and bring it down and all that sort of stuff, but you know, and if it does take it down and, you know, ends up being much lower here, then you'll know that there's weakness. But if it just comes down into the, you know, 54-30 sort of area through here, or 40 or something, and then we see Friday pushing up, well, then we're likely to see Monday push up as well. So we're still just toying with lows here. Looking at across the US markets and looking at the bond market as such here. Sorry, the notes, 10-year notes. I'm just going to put in the daily chart here. Just the daily chart here. It's quite feasible that we've got here this move down here is impulsive, then an A and a B and a C wave here, and then failing from here. And we can see that this indicator here is running quite high here. So this brings us into the 125 sort of area through here. So the 125 as support or resistance here would sort of help dictate things somewhat. So if this is moving, you know, if notes are moving up, well then stocks are going to be moving down. So if I'm right here on this particular count here and we see this come off here, then we're going to see stocks lift up somewhat. And the count that I've got here has just been tracking this little 5-wave situation, C wave up through here. It may not be the count, but got 1, 2 is clear, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We could even have 5 up here, so there could even be another little move up through here. But let's just see over the next few sessions how this dances around the 125 as support or resistance, and then we'll be able to get a bit more meaning from this particular market. As it stands with the S&P 500 as well, the door is open. It can move both ways. The move down through here is moved back to the 50-60% retracement level of the last move here on support at 1950 area here. The move down here is in 3 waves, so we can count it as an A and a B and a C wave. But we shouldn't be blind. It can also be wave 1 down to here, wave 2 to here, and then wave 3, of course, would actually be further down through here. So this would actually be down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, 4, and 5, down through to here. So it's important about this particular low being breached here now at this stage. The move up through here appears to be, well, it seems to be impulsive in its little move up through here. So let's just sort of drill in there a little bit. So once again, a bit like the ASX 200, the move up here appears to be impulsive. So we can look as an A and a B and a C pulling back into the 1960 area here. But then we would need to see it push up from here. And if that was the case, after it's been down here and moves back up here, if the 1965, the lower level within group 2, develops support, then you can go long from that point. And this would be the same for most of the other markets in the US and Europe as well. So from the Dow Jones, the 16.8 here, the move up through here would be looking at this as well, down as an A, B, and a C here, possibly up for wave 1, an A, B, C for 2. But if this got breached here, then we're definitely in a bear market if this gets breached here. So we can expect it to come down to this level in both cases, and then we'll see what happens if it moves up from that point. So at least you'll know what you're looking for and allowing it time to move out, because if it is a bear market, you'll have plenty of time to move into it as such. And if it's a bullish market, well, then you'll know what constitutes what, so to speak. So yeah, really we want this above the 17,000 though. The DAX, had a strong move down through to here. I'm not quite sure how to count this top here. I'm just guessing. I mean, this wave 4 could be down through here, but I didn't want to do that because it's overlapping wave 1 here. But it does leave 5 waves down from here, but it's actually not from the high. This is the high here, so it can be an A and a B and a C wave through to here. I'm not sure, but you know, we'll work the low off here, and once again, like the Dow Jones as well, we've got a little impulse wave up through here. So as long as this is not breached here, then it can move up further. There's quite a nice 5 wave sequence through this little section through here, as you'll see here. This nice beautiful 3rd wave, 4th and 5th wave into here, a little 5 wave structure to the upside, an A and a B and a C possibly in here. So you'd need the 697 as support for any move to the upside here, but there is potential low being in here, and this is the same for the FTSE as well. It's also got the same pattern as the DAX as well, but it's pulled back to the 61.8 retracement level of the previous move up from here to here. So we just need to give it a little bit of time as well. Like the ASX 200, this move, all of this pattern through here, same but different. So we just need, I just want to give it a little bit of space here. But you know, if we do have 5 waves down through here, we do need to be mindful that we can get a B, C through here, and then another massive, strong move to the downside here. So we do need to be careful, and we will be sort of diligent. We won't have a lot of equity trades on, or we'll keep a balance of long and short trades on in the equity market until we move through this particular junction here. Alrighty, enjoy the weekend. Thanks for listening.